Hey, it's Sandra Janoka, physical therapist, and today I'm here to talk to you about sleep and its importance in healing. So sleep is an important time for the human body because it allows us to rest and to heal. So when we reach the deeper states of sleep, we have an increase in oxygen flow to our muscles and all of our tissues. We also have a release of a hormone called human growth hormone that allows us to heal. In fact, researchers have found that if you don't sleep well, you don't have a release of the proper amounts of human growth hormone, and you don't heal well. And in fact, if you sleep well, you heal better. So we've talked about the importance of sleep in my series called Simple Ways to Reduce Back Pain. And one of the things you can do is before bed, if you do have pain during sleep, to use a cold pack on your back for the last hour or so before bed. And that will help to reduce the inflammation that's going on there and can help to reduce pain and the release of pain chemicals. Another problem people have when they have back pain and they don't sleep well is a lot of people have to get up several times a night to use the bathroom. And this is not a normal condition. In fact, there's a name for it. It's called nocturia. And healthcare professionals are not only aware of this problem, but there are some that are specialized in treating it. And today I'm going to interview somebody who has a lot of experience in treating bladder issues and can help to improve your sleep, and that will help to reduce your pain. I'm here to introduce Catherine Kasai. She is a physical therapist who practices in San Pedro, California, and she has been working as a specialist in bladder control for many, many years and has written a book called The Bathroom Key. And today I'm going to ask her some questions to share with you information about bladder control and what you can start doing right away to reduce the number of times you have to wake up during the night and hopefully reduce your back pain. First, I'd like to ask, what is considered normal bladder control?
So no one really teaches us what normal bladder function is. We don't get it in health class in junior high, and I often ask my patients, how much does your bladder hold? And the answers I get are all over the map. No one really knows. They're just guessing. So the truth is, the average bladder holds 16 ounces of urine before it needs to be emptied. That's a lot. That's almost a full water bottle. So it's considered normal to empty your bladder every 3 to 4 hours during the day, even with good hydration. That would tally to be about 5 to 7 times during the day, or you can even say in a 24-hour period, because it's also considered normal not to get out of the bed at all during the night, so to get up 0 times at night. So many of my patients, of course, don't have the luxury of using the bathroom at these rare intervals, so they really do feel that their bladder is controlling their lives, that they're living their life with one toe in the bathroom, which is unfortunate.
And Catherine, what is nocturia and can it be fixed?
So nocturia is the medical term for getting out of bed in the middle of the night to use the bathroom to urinate. And it's even getting up once can be detrimental to your well-being because it interferes with that deep sleep. It interferes with your ability to get continuous sleep, which is what the body needs to restore and to wake up refreshed with high energy and no pain, especially no back pain. If you are interested in finding out if you have nocturia or how severe it is, at the back of my book, The Bathroom Key, there is a self-assessment that will allow you to figure that out with 6 easy questions.
Can a person correct nocturia?
So the bladder can get into some very bad habits quite easily. The more you go, the more you're going to have to. So urges are not really commands to use the bathroom. They're simply reminders and can be controlled. And in my physical therapy clinic, we refer to this as urge suppression techniques. Now, the bladder's a muscle. It's not the same type of muscle you have in your arms and your legs, but nevertheless, it's a muscle. Here's a model of the muscle. And this muscle can be stretched in order to store more urine, so you don't have to go to the bathroom as often. And this is called bladder retraining. And once you learn these two techniques, how to suppress the urge and how to retrain the bladder, you're going to have better spacing between your trips to the bathroom during the day as well as night, with the ultimate goal of sleeping through the night.
Catherine, you teach bladder retraining in your book, The Bathroom Key. What are the steps to bladder retraining?
So the key pieces of bladder retraining really are two-pronged. First, to learn how to make that urge to urinate disappear without going to the bathroom. And as you can imagine, that is super powerful for anyone with these issues. And the second piece is to learn how to space out your trips to the bathroom gradually over time so that you can build up to that normal interval of 3 to 4 hours between trips to the bathroom. And both of these are very doable. I cover them in great depth in my book, Chapter 5, but I'd be more than willing to kind of give you a thumbnail sketch of what to do to retrain your bladder. So let me kind of do that. So if you have an urge to go to the bathroom, I always suggest to my patients to practice this at home first, naturally, where you are comfortable and not at risk. And so it's a 5-step process. Let's take it step by step. So the first thing to do is sit down. You've got that urge. Running to the bathroom is only going to make that urgency worse. Okay? If you can't sit, you're in the kitchen, stand quietly. Just do not move. Secondly, I want you to contract your pelvic floor muscles 5 to 6 times. Now, what are those? We haven't really talked about them. So this is the pelvic floor. Okay? This is, if the pelvic floor was here, this is me looking down. If I take out all my organs one by one, the pelvic floor is underneath. In fact, it supports those organs. And 3 things go right through the pelvic floor: the rectum, the vagina, and the urethra. From the other side, we have a second layer that gives us control of bowel movements, intercourse or giving birth, and then the urethra for urination. And these muscles are right under the skin. So how do we contract these muscles? They don't produce any motion, so it's a little tricky. All these muscles work together. They're not separate. So probably the easiest cue for this purpose right here and now is to think about holding back gas. That's something everyone knows how to do in social situations, or perhaps just holding or delaying a bowel movement. So if you want to try that with me right now, go ahead. So you should, if you're sitting, you should feel a little movement against the chair, very slight. There's no outward sign that you're using this muscle. Okay? So I'd like you to squeeze that muscle 5 to 6 times for about 2 seconds each time, kind of like I'm doing with my hand. Okay, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. So why on earth would this muscle have anything to do with the bladder muscle? That's kind of a disconnect for a lot of people. Well, we have a reflex in our body that connects 3 things: our brain, our bladder, and our pelvic floor. And that reflex basically says that either the bladder muscle or the pelvic floor muscle contracts, one or the other. They never work together, they never relax together. And I'll prove it to you. When you're about to urinate and you let go, I'm sure most of you know what I'm talking about, right? So what you're letting go of is your pelvic floor muscle. Most people think they're letting go of their bladder. Nope, you're letting go of your pelvic floor muscle. The rest of that sentence is you're letting go of all the tone in your pelvic floor muscle. And that's an unusual event because most of the time the pelvic floor has tone in it. It's the only skeletal muscle in the body that doesn't rest, even when you're asleep. Why? Well, if it did, you'd be peeing your bed. So letting go of the tone in your pelvic floor muscle is an unusual event, and the brain senses that and says, oh, letting go, this must mean Catherine's in the bathroom. The brain looks around, sure enough, yep, I'm on the toilet. So then the brain sends a message to my bladder that says, bladder, you're on, time to contract. So letting go of the pelvic floor muscles here with the brain's help makes the bladder contract. So this is our reflex of how we pee. So what we're doing here to suppress that urge is we're using that reflex in reverse. So you've got the bladder contracting first. It shouldn't be. You're not on the toilet. You haven't chosen this time. So by adding this contraction of the pelvic floor, the brain looks down and both the bladder and the pelvic floor are contracting together, which goes against the reflex. So the brain tells the bladder, cut it out. Time to store urine. Catherine is not letting go of her pelvic floor. In fact, she's squeezing. And that's why this works. That's why the urge to urinate will disappear after those 5 or 6 squeezes. Sorry, that was a long one, but it's an important one. So you're sitting quietly, preferably, or standing. You've just done 5 or 6 strong pelvic floor contractions that we just did. However, if all you think about is, should I go to the bathroom now? Should I go to the bathroom later? Should I use this bathroom or that bathroom? But all you do is think about bathroom. The brain's part of this reflex, remember, and the power of suggestion is huge. So the brain will think that's what you want and bring the urge right back. So the brain can be part of the problem and it needs to be part of the solution just as well. So the third step is to think of something other than going to the bathroom. So during the day, this can be thinking about your to-do list. You can think about appointments you have upcoming. Think about your next meal, counting backwards from 100 by 7s, right? You have to use your brain for that. At night, those things would wake you up too much. So we need something lulling, something more repetitive, like counting backwards from 100 by 1s, or perhaps a memorized song or a memorized prayer work well. Okay, so the next step, number 4, is to take a nice, or actually two nice deep diaphragmatic breaths using your diaphragm, which is located here. So let's do that together. Take a nice deep breath in. Let all the air out, really force it out. Next breath in will be deeper and cleaner. I don't know about you, but I feel a nice wave of relaxation wash over me, and that'll also help to relax your bladder. The 5th thing is really not a separate thing. It's basically to repeat all of the above. Once is not enough for a bladder that's been in these bad habits for so very long. So sitting quietly, hopefully you're still doing that anyway. So doing 5 or 6 more pelvic floor contractions. Continue to distract yourself by thinking about what you want for dinner, and then 2 more deep breaths. And then finally, you make the choice, not your bladder. The urge is gone at this point. You decide whether you want to delay and wait until a time to use the bathroom further on down the road because you're retraining your bladder and you're still working to get to that goal of 3 hours in between trips to the bathroom. Or you say, well, it's been enough time and I would like to go to the bathroom, but now you're going to the bathroom on your own terms, calmly, not rushing, without worrying of leakage on the way to the bathroom. And this becomes a very powerful strategy. If you're out and about running errands, you can think about the errands that you're doing instead of mapping out where every bathroom is. And this is very powerful to give your function and give your life back day and night. You know, these issues are not life-threatening, but they're definitely life-altering. And I wish you a full night's sleep with better energy and no low back pain in the morning when you wake up. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Catherine. I appreciate everything that you've shared with us today, and for the viewers, this is a way to start making some changes in your life that can help you get better sleep, and with the final goal, of course, lower your back pain. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope to see you again.